Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for being here. Well, I wanted to share with you something that I'm actually surprised that I'm able to say, but I think that at 58 years old, my skin is actually looking so much better than it did when I was in my late 40s. And I think a lot of that has to do when I discovered the wealth of information that we have available to us here on YouTube through so many skincare experts. Now I'm putting up a side-by-side picture that the first picture was taken when I was 49 years old and the other picture was taken just a few days ago at 58. And I think looking at these side by side that my skin looks so much healthier today than it did in my late 40s. Now, I am not saying that I have less wrinkling or I have stopped aging, but I do think that my skin just looks healthier and better. So in today's video, I wanted to share with you some of my favorite tips that I have learned from these skincare experts here on YouTube. They have talked, I have listened, and my skin has benefited. So I am so excited to share with you these tips I have learned from these experts. And I am linking all the videos below where I learned this information from them. And I highly encourage you, if you do not follow these experts, do yourself a favor and go and follow them now. But with all that said, I'm excited to share with you the tips that I think have made my skin look better in my late 50s as compared to my late 40s. All right, the first tip that I am excited to share with you that I have been using in my skincare routine for a while now is something I learned from the channel Doctorly. Dr. Maxfield and Dr. Shaw are dermatologists here on YouTube that, lucky for us, share so much great information. And something that I learned from their channel was how to deal with sebaceous filaments. Now, if you don't know what sebaceous filaments are, they're those little black dots that you can get on your nose or your chin or your cheeks. And they're not really blackheads, but just kind of clogged pores full of like oil and debris. And I have struggled with those sebaceous filaments on my nose for many years. And what I learned from the doctors on Doctorly is that there's really a two-step approach to really help to reduce the look of those sebaceous filaments. I'm going to put up a picture here on the screen of my nose magnified quite a bit, and I put just a black and white filter on these pictures because I really just feel the black and white helps to show the sebaceous filaments a little bit better. So a little backstory on the pictures that I'm sharing with you. I did stop doing this in my routine for about a month because I wanted to show really how well this works. So what you're seeing here is how my nose looks after doing what Doctorly recommends just one time. And I think you will agree, my nose in the after picture looks a lot better. And what I learned from the dermatologist on the Doctorly channel is that oil dissolves oil. That in order to really clean out those sebaceous filaments, the first step that you need to be doing is using an oil cleanser as your first step. And I like a balm cleanser. Anything that is really oil-based is what you need here. And what they have recommended is that you take that oil cleanse and you really work it into the areas that you are trying to reduce the size of those sebaceous filaments. So about a minute or two, you just really want to work your oil cleanser into those areas. Then after you have rinsed off your first oil cleanse, you go in with a salicylic acid cleanser. Now I like the one from CeraVe, and that is the one that I use, but then you go ahead and just wash your face as normal, again concentrating in those areas. And after doing this, I can look into the mirror and the little black dots on my nose look so much better. So this has been a wonderful tip just to make my skin look so much better. My makeup applies better on my nose and my chin after doing this. So I am so grateful that I learned this tip from them because honestly, the skin on my nose and chin has never looked better. All right, the next couple of tips that I wanted to share with you are ones that I learned from Dr. Sam Ellis, who is a dermatologist with a channel here on YouTube, and she is also the founder of the Prequel skincare line. Now, I have learned so much from Dr. Ellis, but a couple of my favorite tips from her, the first one being in the way that you apply sunscreen. Now, I think we can all agree that sunscreen is something we should be wearing every single day if you really want to protect your skin and to really slow down the aging process. And the tip that I learned from Dr. Ellis that I think is so incredibly helpful is applying your sunscreen in stages to your face. And what I mean by that is that we have all probably heard by now that approximately 2 finger lengths worth of sunscreen is what we should be applying to our face and neck every day. And that ends up being about 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of sunscreen, which can seem like a lot, and it actually really is. But it's very important to get that amount to get the proper protection for your skin. And what Dr. Ellis has taught me is that if you apply 1 finger length at a time, and with doing this, the application is just much more enjoyable because, for one, you don't feel like you are glopping on so much sunscreen at once, really trying to rub it in, to get it to sink in, to get it to dry down. It sometimes can feel just greasy and messy, and if you don't like it, you're not going to do it. But if you just break up the application process and apply 1 finger length at a time and just give it a minute or 2 to set down, your skin feels a little bit less greasy, less tacky, and it is also a great way to ensure you are not missing places when you are applying your sunscreen. And I am not playing around with sunscreen. I want my skin as protected as possible because I truly think prevention with aging is probably the best thing we can try to do, because I think we've learned it's so hard to play catch up later on. So if you are possibly struggling with the habit of getting into applying sunscreen daily because it just feels greasy and it takes a long time to dry down, try just applying 1 finger length at a time. Give it just a minute or 2 to soak in and dry down, and then apply your 2nd finger length and see if you just don't enjoy the process so much more. I know that I did. Now, my second tip that I wanted to share with you that I learned from Dr. Ellis, her tip of doing a weekly peel on your body skin. And the product that I use from this actually is from her line Prequel. It is the multi-acid milk peel. And I started doing this almost a year ago, and the difference I have noticed in the skin, particularly on my legs, has been amazing. I have firmer looking skin. I have more even skin on my legs. The tone, texture, everything is better doing these weekly peels. So if you do not have a body skincare routine that is really giving you results, I would highly recommend trying Dr. Ellis's tip of doing a weekly body peel. And in particular, her multi-acid milk peel from the Prequel line is amazing for doing it. It is so affordable, it lasts a long time, and it really delivers the results. So the next tip I wanted to talk to you that I have incorporated in my skincare routine, I learned from Dr. Dray. And it has to do with getting the best benefits from your vitamin C serum. In particular, I am talking about vitamin C serums that are L-ascorbic acid based. What I learned from Dr. Dray is that L-ascorbic acid vitamin C serums are formulated at a very low pH. So sometimes it can make it a little bit tricky when applied to your skin, penetrating your skin barrier and actually getting to where it needs to go to do the magic that is promised. So the tip that Dr. Dray had shared that I have been doing is that if you cleanse your face in the morning prior to putting on your vitamin C serum with an AHA or BHA cleanser, it will actually lower the pH of your skin slightly, making the vitamin C serum penetrate better. So what I have been doing is a few days a week, I will use the Prequel Glycolic Cleanser, and then I go ahead and apply my vitamin C serum. And since I have been doing this, I have noticed a big difference in that my skin just looks brighter. And I feel like I'm actually getting those benefits now since incorporating this tip into my routine. It has just really made a huge difference in how my skin is looking. So it's so easy to do. I have definitely seen improvements in my skin since incorporating that tip. The next tip that I wanted to share with you, I learned from Dr. Shereene Idriss, and it is her viral skin basting. That when your skin is really irritated, you have maybe just done too much to it, or you have rosacea like I do, and maybe you're having a flare-up and it is red and burning and irritated. Her skin basting technique of applying diaper cream to your face at night is an absolute game changer. And how I have incorporated Dr. Idriss's skin basting tip into my own routine is that those times that my skin is just really irritated, I do have rosacea, and sometimes I still get flare-ups where my skin is red and burning and it is flaky and it is just irritated. Is that after washing my face at night with a very gentle cleanser and just applying a hydrating serum and moisturizer, I seal it all in with diaper cream. Yes, I put diaper cream on my face. Now, I tend to just spot use the diaper cream. I really only put it in the areas that I need it, where my skin is extra irritated or extra dry. And I will layer on this thick diaper cream and then go to bed. Now, I have said before, this is not a routine that you want to be doing if you are planning on sexy time with your sweetie, because you really look quite ridiculous after applying diaper cream to your face. But oh my goodness, when you wake up in the morning and you wash that off, my skin looks so much better. It looks healthy, it looks moisturized, it has a glow. It really is an amazing hack if your skin is just really suffering. So if you have never tried skin basting with diaper cream, it's great to have on hand for those times when your skin is just crying out for help. Every time I do it and I wake up and then I look into the mirror in the morning, I am so happy for learning the skin basting technique from Dr. Idriss. All right, the last tip or tips that I wanted to share with you, I learned from Penn Smith Skincare. And Penn Smith is a master esthetician, and she has amazing content on her channel where she does these great deep dives into certain ingredients, so you can really learn about things that can benefit your skin. And I have learned so much from her channel. But one of my main takeaways from watching Penn is the idea that our skincare routines should actually be enjoyable. She is a big proponent of really taking the time during your skincare routines and just slowing down and really looking at it as self-care. So instead of, say, looking at your evening skincare as just this something that you have to do to remove your makeup and sunscreen before you can go to bed, Penn kind of reminds us that we should be enjoying the process. Take the time to really cleanse your skin. She's a big proponent and not just, cleansing for 10-15 seconds, but to really work the cleanser into your skin and really just stop and just enjoy the whole experience. So I love that she encourages us to really just take a minute to enjoy our skincare routines. And I also wanted to mention one of her latest videos that she did, how in this video here, she shared with us that there may be some benefits in using sonic type devices like a sonic toothbrush or the sonic cleansing features of the Urchin from Mesama that may actually help to preserve the bones in our face so that as we age, we have better bone structure, which I found absolutely fascinating. So I do love that she shares these type of videos with us where she really plants these ideas by presenting the science that she has learned and whether we want to incorporate these in our skincare routine or not. So after watching that video from Penn, it really did reignite my love affair, if you will, with the Mesama Urchin. It's a lovely device, and again, it leans into that we should be enjoying our skincare routine. So I have definitely started incorporating the Mesama Urchin more into my routine after watching Penn's video, and it just really falls in line with, at the end of the day, I look forward to my skincare routine. It's a time that I'm taking for myself. It feels good, and I am seeing the results, which makes me want to stick with it. So if you are not following Penn Smith Skincare, I highly recommend that you do. You will learn so much, and you will also hopefully come away with what I came away with, that taking time for yourself and your skincare routine is something that is really important. So once again, here is my side-by-side picture of my skin in my late 40s and my skin in my late 50s. And I think you'll agree that my skin looks a lot better today than it did almost 10 years ago. So I am so incredibly grateful to these dermatologists and skincare experts here on YouTube that have shared their knowledge with us. And I think that my skin is proof that if you incorporate these type of techniques into your routine, your skin can actually look better. And I love that I'm able to say at 58 that I feel really good about my skin, and I credit it so much to all of the information I have learned from these experts. So if you do not follow them, I highly encourage that you do. I don't think you or your skin will regret it. So friends, thank you so much for taking a little bit of time out of your day to spend with me. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you all next time. Bye.